Well, have you felt the impact of AI coming into the consulting space, coaching space? Maybe you're a fractional pro, you're selling professional services. Have you felt that AI is taking a lot of your business? Well, this episode is going to give you the future of consulting, coaching, professional services for 2026. So let's dive in. First of all, I have been really digging into some research to figure out what's the direction that consulting and coaching and professional entrepreneurs are going to be going in 2026. Like, what's happening in our industry? And I found the results for me to be very exciting, but they're not going to be exciting for many people unless they step up their game. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. First of all, McKinsey and Deloitte said that professional services will hit trillions of dollars in 2026. Trillions of dollars. That is great news, right? There's going to be a lot of business out there for what we do. But here's the other side. Because a lot of companies are now downsizing and they are able to run with less employees or fewer employees, because of AI coming onto the scene, more and more people will be entering this industry. Now, that means if you thought competition has been fierce, it is about to get a lot harder. The noise that's going to be out there, the amount of people that you're going to be competing against, all of that is going to make things more difficult for a lot of people in our industry. Now, for me, though, it was good news because one of the things that McKinsey and Deloitte also said is that elevating your expertise and specializing to go into the premium market is going to be the best play. Well, this is exciting because I've been helping people do this for years in their business. The other thing it said is that organic marketing is going to also become the play. High level, high leverage organic marketing. So this is going to be things like speaking, building your brand, having an expert platform, being an authority in your space, building relationships with people, partnerships. All of this organic kind of marketing is going to be the direction because people are going to want to hire experts and authority. So when these companies are bringing in people to replace employees that maybe they no longer have, they're going to be looking to pay premium fees because they will want the best. They will want transformations. They will want results and outcomes that they can get. And so they're going to be looking for true experts that can deliver those types of outcomes and results. The other thing the research showed is that generalists are going to have a hard time and many of them will go away. So if you think about like the gig economy or you go in and do project work, that's going to get harder and harder. You're going to be literally fighting for those people at the bottom. This is why the premium market is where the most growth is predicted to happen. Exciting, right? Especially if you're already good at what you do. This is great news for you. But you are going to have to step up how you are doing things, the structure of your business, how you market and sell your services, how your services are structured and offered, the delivery. Your whole business revenue model will have to elevate. One of the things I have been doing for years, and I'm doing it in 2026, is helping people elevate the expert that's in them. See, when you have become so good at what you do, but your business has not yet caught up with that, you're still kind of doing things the same way you did even as a beginner or a startup, and you're just trying to do more of that, that is what's not going to work if you want to stay in this industry, if you want to keep your business thriving in any economy and in the AI economy. So you are going to have to play a bigger game. Now, I've been talking about this for a long time because I see so many experts who are missing the biggest opportunities because they're not stepping up their game. They're still doing things the same old way. They're still delivering services the same way. Recently, I helped a client have a $350,000 upsell with an existing client. That's huge, right? And here's the thing that was so crazy. The client said, "We didn't even know you could do all of this." This is why going into the new year, you're going to have to bring all of your value to the table. You're going to have to learn how to package that, how to market that, how to sell that, how to stand out for all of that value against all of your competitors. You want to be in a category of one. And this means you're going to want to specialize. You have to be confident in the results that you can deliver for your clients so that you can repeat those results, and that when people hire you for that transformation, that outcome, that result, you know that you can deliver it, and you also know about how much time and energy and effort it's going to take to do that. And most people are not doing this because, look, when you're doing everything so customized and you're working with so many different types of clients, and you are starting back over every single time you work with a client to try to figure things out, you're going to be left behind because people are going to be hiring specialists that they can trust, specialists that are confident in what they can deliver. So if you have not yet elevated your business, your expertise, you haven't elevated your brand to be seen for the brilliance that you bring to the market, you're going to miss out in this next year as things get harder, noisier, and more competitive. The good news is the people that play at the top will make a lot of money. They will make a lot of revenue. The opportunities will be there. Because think about this, if a company can bring you in as the expert you are, and you can basically fill the role of 2 or 3 employees that maybe they were paying 6 figures or even multiple 6 figures to, what do you think your opportunity is going to be? And this is exactly how my client had the $350,000 upsell. They saw the opportunity to not just get better results with her, but it actually was going to save them money, even though it was a significant bump for her. Now, she was originally in a $60,000 contract with them, delivering a service. But she came to me because she knew there was more opportunity and she didn't really know how to put all the pieces together. And so we put together a new offer for her, and she went back to an existing client. And that's how it turned into an additional $350,000. And when the client said, "We didn't even know you could do all of this," exactly, that was the problem. She had so much more to offer the client. She had so much more value to give that client. But because she was selling herself like a doer, like a providing a service, she was missing all of that revenue. And this is what I'm talking about. You might already have this opportunity with existing clients. You could maybe be upselling clients right now because you've got more value that you could be bringing to them, but you're not. And so what happens is they still want those things. They're still looking for those things. They might be bringing other people in to fill those gaps for them. But if you can provide all of that, not only can you get paid significantly more, but it's simpler for them to be working with one person instead of 3 different people, or kind of piecemealing things together, which is what happens when you get too many irons in the fire. You get too many chiefs, right? The more experts you have to bring in that are not under sort of one umbrella. Now you're trying to get those people to work together, work with each other. It's like putting together a puzzle that the pieces don't really fit. I hope this is making sense. And this is what happens. So if they can bring in one expert that can give them the result and the transformation and the outcome that they're looking for, and maybe you have your own team with you, or you partner with people that you trust and you know can deliver in the gaps that you don't do. If they can work with one person as the expert versus 3 or 4 people, they're going to go that route, because in the long run, it's going to save them money. It's going to save them headaches and heartache. And so think like this. What's all of the value that you can bring to the market? This is how I help my clients get paid 3 to 10 times more, get 6 and multi 6-figure clients. because we uncover all of the value they can bring, and then we package, market, and sell that, and we elevate everything they're doing. That's how they get paid the big dollars. So what is your game plan in 2026 to elevate your business? You need to engineer your elevation plan. What does that look like from your revenue model? What's all the value you bring to the table? And then you need to structure that in ways where you're getting paid at different levels for that value, and you're giving an outcome, a transformation, or a result. And it should also be somewhat rinse and repeat from one client to the next. Now, sure, there are little nuances and details that will change, but your system and your method should be rinse and repeat. For example, if I work with a CPA, helping them get premium clients, elevate their brand, build their influence in the market, and implement high impact marketing and sales systems so they can get those premium top tier clients, I'm doing the same thing with a coach. I'm doing the same thing with a consultant. So even though their businesses might be a bit different, what I'm doing with them is not different. And this is what you need to figure out and structure in your business as well. So you've got to specialize. I stepped into specializing years ago in this space, and it's been a game changer for me. And this is what I teach people to do as well. This is how I help people build their business and make more money than they've ever made. Now, I'm not making that claim because you're watching this, right? But I will tell you this, most people are not doing that the way they could be. They're still somewhat a generalist. I still don't know what they do. Maybe they're a jack of all trades. They do so many things, but they haven't pulled that together to really show the value to the market. So you want to engineer your elevation plan. This is your revenue model, how you're going to sell, package, price, sell your services. The second piece of this is you want to elevate your positioning in the market. This is how you're seen. There's going to be a lot of noise in 2026 as more and more people come into the market. And you don't want to look like a beginner or an amateur when you've been in your business for a long time and you've earned your expertise and your brilliance and your knowledge. Now you've got to let the world see that, right? If they can't see that from the outside, it doesn't matter how great you are on the inside, you're going to miss the business. I see this all the time. Amazing experts who are missing business to amateurs and beginners and not getting paid like people that are better marketers. So you've got to step up your game and you've got to elevate your positioning in the market. You need to build an expert platform. You need to be seen online in such a big way. For one thing, what's the one thing you do? If you go out and hear me on podcasts, see me in the media, Google me, see any of my content out there, my websites, you're going to see that I do the same thing. I help people play in the premium market. I help them get premium clients, elevate their influence. You're going to see the same thing across the board. I've been doing it for years. My whole brand is built around this. This is what you need to be doing in your business too, so that you stand out as the authority, as the expert, as the best, and in a category of one. All right. So engineer your elevation plan. Elevate your positioning, build that expert platform, be seen that way. The third piece of this is you need to earn. And this means, so this is, I'm giving you my process and my system here. You need to implement high impact marketing and sales systems. Now, I could go on and on about how to do this, especially with the sales, but I'm going to give it to you in just a few things to think about here. The first thing is podcasting, speaking on stages, guesting on podcasting, having your own show are all going to be elevation methods that are going to become even more important because people don't want AI stuff. They don't want AI content. They want authenticity. They want to see real experts. They want the know, like, and trust. They're looking for real people that can deliver real results. if you're not elevating your brand in this way, if you're not doing these things in your business, again, you're going to just get sucked into all the noise. You're not going to stand out. So all of these ways of marketing are going to become even more important and more relevant in not just next year, but even following. Paid advertising is going to get harder. It's going to get worse. It's cutting into margins. We've already seen this over the last few years. People don't trust paid advertising anymore. Even the gurus that are out there, this is their main way of driving business, are seeing the impact of this. That's why many of them are omnipresent. They're now across platforms. You see them everywhere. They're building media because they realize that the know, like, and trust has to come from them, not some paid ad, right? Not to say that you can't still do paid advertising, but the biggest impact is going to come from organic, high-level marketing. So this is going to become even more important. But the other thing I want to talk about is your sales process. So often people are just missing opportunities with their sales process. Consultants, like emailing proposals. I have done other videos and shows around proposals and what not to do and what to do, because so many experts are missing huge opportunity just because of their sales process. So when you think about conversations with clients in 2026 going forward, and they're looking for an expert, you need to show up that way in a sales conversation too. And if you don't know how to do that, you're going to miss out on people that do. This is one of the things that I work with my clients on. It's one thing for us to structure some sort of an offer for them to get paid 6 or multiple 6 figures, but they've got to know how to articulate that in a sales conversation and how to actually project that value and how to close that deal. And there are certain ways that that needs to be done so that it's very authentic and it's easy. It's an easy sell. And most people are out there sending proposals, and I'm just not a believer of that. I believe in agreements. So that's a whole different thing. I'm not going to go into that. If you want to know how to do that, you can work with me and we'll dive into that for you and help you with that. So all of these are pieces of what is going to elevate you into being the expert, being seen like the expert, and being paid like the expert, and getting hired like the expert. And then finally, once you have this foundation in place and it's really working like a well-oiled machine, and you are seen as an expert, you are paid that way, you are valued and really recognized that way in the industry, and even with your clients, that they appreciate you so much, they value you, they don't think that they can do without you, you'll be able to keep those clients for a long time, which means you're working less, right? You're working less to have to market and grind and go after more clients. And, because opportunities always keep arising inside of businesses. And so if you know how to capture those opportunities and really tap into those opportunities, you could literally stay in businesses for a long time. But here's the thing that's so great. As a consultant or someone working for yourself, you can have several of those clients, not just one. So it's not like you're an employee in their company. And please don't treat yourself that way. That's just going to devalue you and how you get paid and how you're thought of. Do not. You need to elevate how you're seen, what they think of you. All of that needs to elevate. Bring your business up to meet your expertise and how you've evolved as an entrepreneur and how you've evolved as a professional service provider. Let your business come up to match that and meet that, and that will be your opportunity to thrive in 2026, and let everyone else get the leftovers and fight at the bottom. Here's one thing that I want to leave you with as I wrap this up. I want you to think about the difference between a diamond, brilliant, legacy, expensive, exquisite, right? Just magnificent, and a bunch of gray rocks. If I could give you one visual, if I could leave you with one visual on how you need to be in this new year coming up, You need to be the diamond, and you need to look like the diamond, and you need to be sought after like the diamond for the people that have money in the midst of a bunch of gray rocks that are going to be overlooked and not thought highly of and can be changed out one for the other. I hope that leaves you with a great visual for how you can do things differently in the new year. And look, if you're ready to go all in on your success, you're ready to elevate and do everything I'm talking about and have the best business and the best year of your life, book a call with me right now and let's elevate you. Let's look at what we can do in your business. And like I said, you may already have business sitting there right in front of you that you are not capturing because you're not thinking like this, or you haven't done these things in your business. If you are ready to do what I'm talking about and you're ready to elevate your business and play at the top, then book a call with me at acarden.com and let's take a look at your business, see what you need, and see how we can work together to help you do these things. The people that don't do this, many of them will go away. Many of them will struggle. The challenge will be real. We've already seen it be real for the last couple of years. It's time to transition into something higher. I like to say it's time to work higher and not harder if you're great at what you do. So thank you so much for being here. Book a call with me if you need some help. Again, acarden.com, and share it with someone else that needs to hear this. God bless you. Go rock your business. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.